Have you ever wondered what's happening inside your head when you learn something new? It's not just magic, it's science. Your brain is the most powerful and complex organ in your body. Think of it as the ultimate command center, the mission control for everything you do, think, and feel. It weighs about 3 pounds or around 1.4 kilograms, but it uses about 20% of all the oxygen and calories you take in. That's a lot of energy for a squishy, wrinkly blob of tissue. This incredible organ is in charge of your heartbeat, your breathing, your ability to walk and talk, and of course your ability to learn the capitals of every country or how to play the ukulele. Learning isn't just for school, it's how we navigate our entire world. Every time you smell a flower, laugh at a joke, or remember your best friend's birthday, your brain is hard at work. It's a bustling city of activity, with signals zipping around faster than a race car. This command center is what allows you to be you. It stores your precious memories from your first day of school to the amazing taste of your favorite pizza. It also helps you create new memories every single day. Understanding just a little bit about how this amazing biological computer works can completely change the way you approach learning. It can help you make studying more effective, remembering names less of a chore, and acquiring new skills a whole lot more fun. It's all about working with your brain, not against it. Alright, let's pop the hood and take a look inside your head. Your brain isn't just one big lump, it's made of several specialized parts that all work together as a team. The biggest part, the star of the show, is the cerebrum. This is the wrinkly outer part that you probably picture when you think of a brain. It's divided into two halves, the left and right hemispheres, and it's responsible for all the high-level stuff: thinking, language, reasoning, and voluntary movements. The cerebrum's outer layer is called the cortex, and this is where most of your memory storage happens. Think of it as a vast library with shelves for everything you know. Next up, tucked underneath the back of the cerebrum, is the cerebellum. Its name means little brain, and it's a powerhouse for coordinating movement and balance. When you ride a bike, play a video game, or even just walk without falling over, you have your cerebellum to thank. It's also involved in learning motor skills, so the memory of how to swing a baseball bat or type on a keyboard is stored here. Then there's the brainstem, which connects your brain to your spinal cord. It's the brain's automatic pilot, controlling essential life functions like your breathing, heart rate, and sleep cycles. Deep inside the brain, we find the diencephalon, which contains crucial structures like the thalamus and hypothalamus. The thalamus acts like a relay station, taking in sensory information from your body and sending it to the correct part of the cortex for processing. Also tucked in here is the hippocampus, a seahorse-shaped structure that is absolutely critical for forming new long-term memories. It's like the save button for your experiences. Without a functioning hippocampus, you wouldn't be able to remember what you had for breakfast this morning, let alone what you studied last night. These parts all work in perfect harmony. So how do these parts talk to each other? They use special cells called neurons. You have about 86 billion of them. Neurons are like tiny messengers that transmit information using electrical and chemical signals. They connect to each other at junctions called synapses. When you learn something new, you are strengthening the connections, the synapses between specific neurons. It's like forging a new path in a forest. The first time you walk it, it's difficult. But the more you use that path, the clearer and stronger it becomes. Learning and memory are all about building and reinforcing these neural pathways. It's a physical change in your brain. You've probably heard this one before: we only use 10% of our brains. It's a popular idea in movies and books, suggesting we all have some vast, untapped superpower just waiting to be unlocked. Well, I'm here to tell you that this is a myth. It's totally, completely, 100% false. Brain scans like fMRIs and PET scans show us that virtually all parts of the brain are active all the time, even when we're sleeping. Different tasks might cause certain areas to become more active than others, but there are no dormant, unused parts just sitting there waiting for a special key. Your brain is an efficient organ, and it wouldn't waste energy maintaining a huge, useless 90% portion. So where did this myth come from? It's hard to say for sure, but it might have been a misunderstanding of early neuroscience research from over a century ago. Another popular but misleading idea you might see in classrooms or online is the cone of learning or learning pyramid. This is a diagram that assigns specific percentages to how much people remember based on how they learn. For example, it might claim we remember 10% of what we read, 20% of what we hear, 50% of what we see and hear, and 90% of what we do. While the general idea that active learning is better than passive learning is true, those specific percentages are completely made up. They have no basis in scientific research. They were likely created for a commercial publication and have been passed around ever since because they look so official and scientific. The truth is, memory doesn't work like that. There is no magic formula where doing a certain activity guarantees a specific percentage of retention. How much you remember depends on a huge number of factors: your prior knowledge, your interest in the subject, how much attention you're paying, your emotional state, and most importantly, what you do with the information after you receive it. Just doing something without thinking about it won't help you remember it. True learning requires active engagement, thinking, and connection. So let's bust these myths and focus on what the science really says about how to build strong, lasting memories. It's not about percentages, it's about strategy. Many people think of memory as a storage container, like a computer's hard drive or a filing cabinet in your brain. You just put information in, and it stays there until you need to pull it out. But this is a fundamentally flawed analogy. A hard drive stores data perfectly and doesn't change it over time. Your memory, on the other hand, is not a passive storage device. It's a living, changing, and active process. A much better way to think about memory is to compare it to a muscle. The more you work it out, the stronger it gets. Leaving it inactive makes it weaker. You can't build muscle by just watching someone else lift weights, and you can't build strong memories by just passively reading a textbook. This memory as a muscle idea highlights a crucial point: effort matters. The act of trying to remember something, the struggle, the mental sweat, is what strengthens the neural connections that form a memory. This is why simply rereading your notes over and over again is one of the least effective ways to study. It feels easy and familiar, but it's a passive activity. You're not challenging your brain to do any heavy lifting. Your brain sees the information and thinks, "Oh yeah, I've seen this before." But it doesn't do the work of actually retrieving the information from its own depths. It's the retrieval part that builds the muscle. Furthermore, everyone's memory muscle is a little different. Just as some people are naturally better at running long distances and others are better at sprinting, we all have our own cognitive strengths and weaknesses. Some people might have a fantastic memory for faces but struggle with names. Others might be able to recall complex formulas but forget where they put their keys. This is completely normal. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to learning. Understanding your own personal style, what you find easy and what you find challenging, is the first step toward developing strategies that work best for you. Don't be discouraged if a technique that works for your friend doesn't work as well for you. The most important takeaway here is that you are in control. You are not stuck with the memory you were born with. You can actively train your brain to become better at remembering things. It requires abandoning passive habits like rereading and highlighting, and embracing active, effortful strategies. These strategies might feel harder at first, just like the first day at the gym, but that feeling of difficulty is a sign that you are actually learning. You are forcing your brain to build new, stronger pathways. It's a workout for your neurons, and with consistent practice, you can build a truly powerful memory. Now that we know we need to exercise our memory muscle, let's talk about some specific workout routines. The first and most powerful technique is called spaced repetition. Imagine you have a test in 2 weeks. The worst way to study is to wait until the night before and cram for 8 hours straight. Your brain will be overwhelmed, and you'll forget most of it soon after the test. Spaced repetition is the exact opposite. Instead of one massive study session, you review the material in shorter sessions spread out over time. For example, you might study a concept for 30 minutes today, review it for 15 minutes tomorrow, then again for 10 minutes in 3 days, and then for 5 minutes in a week. This works because of something called the forgetting curve. When you first learn something, your memory of it starts to fade quite quickly. Each time you review the information right before you're about to forget it, you interrupt that curve. You tell your brain, "Hey, this is important. Don't throw it away." This process strengthens the memory trace, making it last longer and longer before you need to review it again. It's like watering a plant. You don't dump a month's worth of water on it at once. You give it a little bit every few days. Spaced repetition is the most efficient way to transfer information from your short-term to your long-term memory. There are great apps like Anki or Quizlet that can automate this whole process for you with digital flashcards. Another fantastic technique for your mental gym is called chunking. Our short-term memory, the part of our brain that juggles information we're actively thinking about, has a limited capacity. It can only hold about 4 to 7 pieces of information at once. This is why it's hard to remember a long string of numbers like 90210867539. It's just too much. But chunking helps us get around this limitation. Chunking is the process of grouping individual pieces of information into